fight him. You know, people always ask me, why? Why do you want to do that for? I just want to fight him. But coming back on the selling point, the way we're doing it right now is going great because I think we're doing good numbers.
Because a lot of guys try too hard to sell a fight because they want the asses in the seat. They want to get the best results possible. So sometimes they make up situations.
I'm gonna hit him everywhere.
You know I'm a certified scuba diver, right?
Yeah, scuba and being fit is
I can free dive as well.
Can you?
Yeah.
You honestly think if these two come together like this, you know what's going to happen?
So what
I'm going to keep them apart by a wall of security.
You know, even though he may not have had the experience as much as me of knocking people out, doesn't mean he don't have the capability of doing it. It's just like he said, anybody can be knocked out. It's only take the right punch at the right time at the right moment, and that's it. You know,
bossing out, getting back to it, and that's what they're all been trying to do. You know, because he's thinking, if I can get this man angry, get this man mad, then he'll deviate from...
You know, to be around people, just to show them what hunger is and desire is, and when you're at the top, to show them to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Hopefully they learn, it rubs off on them.
Wilder's 40 years old and Derek's 42, and whatever snap you had when you were in your 30s, it's going to start to slow down, and your vulnerabilities will start to stand out a little more as the older you...
And if he wants to beat Derek Chisora, he's got to go back to being the executioner. He's got to go.
Got that, and who will prevail? Because I'm not being disrespectful, they're in their 40s, aren't they now? So the speed that they had a few years ago is not there. Their styles will blend to make it a real, as soon as that bell goes, right on top of each other. And they'll be throwing.
Here's a guy who's, you know, with 13 losses in his career, who's constantly overcome adversity, and he's on a run at the moment, and he believes in himself, and this is unbelievable. The two of them, as you say, the big 5-0 or 100 between them.
Do you believe that Derek Chisora can beat Deontay Wilder?
I think he's a big underdog in the fight, and I think he may also get knocked out in the fight. If he gets past 5 or 6 rounds with Deontay Wilder, he's banging that fight. He might not get through 5 or 6 rounds with Deontay Wilder, but he's fighting.
It's a fantastic, almost, you could say a 50-50. We don't know what Wilder's got left. Obviously, he possesses the biggest, probably single punch power since an early Shavers, but he didn't look great. Well, hasn't looked great, has he, for the last couple of years, probably since the Fury trilogy. And Derek continues to keep grinding results out, and once that 50th fight, it will be a fantastic build-up. We know it looks like it will be announced. I'm hearing April. I just think it's a great battle.
The heavyweight division just exploded. Deontay Wilder and Derek Chisora nearly came to blows at their press conference, and what happened next has the entire boxing world buzzing. This wasn't your typical pre-fight theatrics. This was two seasoned killers who genuinely wanted to hurt each other, right there on stage, with cameras rolling and security scrambling to keep them apart.
And you shouldn't be doing it. They shouldn't be putting hands on each other. But it is the fight game, and we've seen far worse. We've seen guys get in fights. We've seen people throw dollies in this game, in the combat sport.
Adam Smith nails it. This is a veteran clash dripping with raw power and experience. Both Deontay Wilder and Derek Chisora have been through wars, and their combined ring knowledge makes this more than just a brawl. Wilder brings thunderous knockout punches, while Chisora's iron chin and relentless aggression make him a nightmare for anyone. This isn't about who's fresher or faster. It's about who can impose themselves under pressure, survive, and strike with precision. Fans are in for non-stop action, dramatic swings, and explosive exchanges round after round. Every punch could end the fight, and every moment will showcase why heavyweight boxing remains the pinnacle of combat sport. The buildup is tense, the history is rich, and the stakes couldn't be higher. This fight promises fireworks and a spectacle fans will be talking about for years.
It is a cracking matchup because, they're both at the veteran stage of their careers, and they've both got power, and it's going to be exciting, and it's probably the perfect match.
Sergio Mora highlights exactly why this fight is perfect for fans. Wilder and Chisora are evenly matched in different ways. Wilder carries world-class knockout power, while Chisora has the experience, resilience, and heart to absorb and respond. It's a clash of styles that makes every round unpredictable and every exchange critical. Both fighters have faced the elite, taken their losses, and learned from them, which adds a psychological edge. This is about more than brute force. It's a chess match with fists, where timing, stamina, and strategy will define the outcome. Fans can expect the unexpected, as both fighters know the value of momentum swings. This is heavyweight boxing in its rawest form, a battle of heart, skill, and knockout capability that will keep spectators on the edge of their seats from the first bell to the last.
What do you think of Wilder versus Chisora?
I love that fight. It makes more sense than Wilder and Usyk. I think we had a topic saying that Usyk was going to fight Wilder. I'm like, for what? I go, he should be fighting someone that's already on his side, where he's lost or he already's been knocked out, that has a name but is not at the top level. And Derek Chisora fits all those boxes, even though he is on a 3-fight win streak. Chisora has fought all the big names that come up short, similar to Wilder.
Tyson Fury's endorsement captures the magnitude of this showdown perfectly. Wilder's explosive power and Chisora's relentless toughness make this an electrifying heavyweight encounter. Fury's praise of both men emphasizes their legacy. Wilder as a world champion with devastating knockouts, Chisora as the fearless British warlord who has faced all comers. Fans can feel the anticipation from Fury's energy, knowing a stoppage is likely and that every punch will matter. This isn't just a fight. It's a celebration of veteran skill, raw power, and heart. With the title potentially on the line and two men who refuse to back down, this matchup promises intensity, drama, and unforgettable moments. It's a heavyweight spectacle that demands attention, and Fury's excitement mirrors the anticipation of boxing fans worldwide.
So I've just seen that Chisora and Deontay Wilder are going to do a fight. I think this is a great fight. You know, I've fought both of these men 3 times each, actually. Just thought of that. And I think it's a very, very good fight. But on this one, I'm going to go with my boy, Del Boy, War Chisora, for a stoppage. Get up there, Derek! Come on! It's coming home. And there should be a belt on the line too. So one of you sanctioning bodies, you got 2 legendary fighters here. A champion, world champion with 10 title defences from the USA, and an absolute warlord from the United Kingdom who's fought everybody, never ducked anybody, and would have been a good heavyweight in any era, Derek Chisora.
The stage is set and the tension could be cut with a knife as Deontay Wilder and Derek Chisora step into the spotlight. Both men bring decades of experience, raw power, and hearts that refuse to quit. Wilder carries the reputation of a fearsome knockout artist whose right hand can end fights in an instant, while Chisora brings the grit, durability, and unrelenting aggression that has seen him survive battles with the very best. This is more than a fight, it is a collision of styles where every punch counts, every strategy matters, and momentum swings can change the course of the bout in seconds. Fans should expect fireworks, brutal exchanges, and high drama from the opening bell to the final round. There is history on the line, pride to defend, and a heavyweight spectacle that is impossible to ignore. This is a must-watch for anyone who loves the raw excitement of boxing and the thrill of unpredictability. Make sure to hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and watch every moment of the build-up, because when these two warriors clash, it will be an unforgettable fight that will have the boxing world talking for years.
Here's what makes this confrontation so wild. These aren't young fighters trying to build their names with fake drama. Wilder is a former world champion with 42 knockouts on his record. Chisora has been in wars with every heavyweight legend of the past decade. When veterans like this start seeing red, it means something real is happening, and you could see it in their eyes during that press conference. The way Wilder leaned forward, the way Chisora's jaw was clenched, the way Eddie Hearn looked genuinely concerned about keeping them separated. This was authentic hatred brewing. But here's where it gets absolutely wild. Eddie Hearn, who's promoted some of the biggest fights in boxing history, was desperately trying to restore order. You know it's serious when a promoter who thrives on drama is actually worried about his fighters going at it before the official bout. Security had to form a human wall between these two, and even then, you could feel the electricity in that room. Both men were practically vibrating with aggression, and the crowd knew they were witnessing something special. This is the kind of tension that makes legendary fights the kind that has fans talking for years afterward. Now listen to this part. Deontay Wilder reminded everyone exactly why he's called the Bronze Bomber. His words during that heated exchange weren't just trash talk, they were calculated psychological warfare designed to get inside Chisora's head. Wilder knows his reputation precedes him. 42 knockouts don't lie. When he talks about ending fights, opponents listen because they've seen the highlight reels. They know what that right hand can do. And Chisora, despite all his experience and toughness, felt that pressure. You could see it in how he responded, how his whole demeanor shifted when Wilder started talking about putting him to sleep. And get this, Johnny Nelson, who's been around boxing for decades, broke down the mental chess match perfectly during the broadcast. This wasn't just about two fighters getting angry. This was elite-level mind games between two men who understand the psychology of combat. Every stare, every gesture, every word was calculated to gain a psychological edge before they even step into the ring. Nelson pointed out how both fighters were testing each other's mental strength right there on stage, probing for weaknesses, looking for signs of doubt or fear. It's heavyweight psychological warfare at its finest. Here's the kicker. Tyson Fury, who knows both these fighters intimately, explained what's really driving this intensity. At this stage of their careers, neither Wilder nor Chisora has time for games. They're not here to build their brands or play nice for the cameras. They're here to prove they still belong at the top of the heavyweight division. Fury understands that mindset because he's lived it. When you're a veteran fighter with everything on the line, every fight feels like your last chance to cement your legacy. That's why the press conference got so heated, and that's why this fight is going to be absolutely brutal. But wait, it gets worse. Frank Warren, who's promoted fights for over 4 decades, had to step in and remind everyone that while the drama is great for ticket sales, they still need both fighters healthy enough to actually compete. Warren's seen press conferences turn ugly before, but even he looked concerned about how close these two came to throwing hands right there in front of the media. The promoter's job is to build hype, but not at the expense of the actual fight. And for a moment, it looked like Wilder and Chisora might settle their differences before making it to the ring. Now here's where the fight analysis gets really interesting. Johnny Nelson provided a breakdown that has boxing experts divided. Wilder's power is still absolutely devastating, but his recent performances have shown some decline in timing and footwork. Meanwhile, Chisora's experience and incredible durability could be the perfect combination to exploit those weaknesses. Nelson pointed out that every round will be a chess match between raw knockout power and strategic boxing intelligence. It's the classic boxer versus puncher scenario, but with two fighters who have been in the trenches with the best heavyweights in the world. Hold up, Duke McKenzie dropped some serious knowledge about Wilder's approach to this fight. At this stage of his career, the Bronze Bomber can't reinvent himself. He is what he is, a devastating puncher with an executioner's mentality. McKenzie explained that Wilder's best strategy is to lean into his strengths, hunt for that one perfect shot, and trust the power that's carried him through his entire career. But here's the problem. Chisora knows this too. Del Boy has faced punchers before, survived their best shots, and found ways to win ugly fights. This creates a fascinating dynamic where both fighters know exactly what the other brings to the table. And get this part? Frank Warren perfectly captured why this fight is so compelling despite both fighters being past their prime. Age hasn't dulled their aggression or their willingness to engage in wars. Warren pointed out that while speed may have decreased, ring IQ and brutality are still intact. These are two fighters who have learned how to maximize their remaining tools, who understand how to dig deep when the going gets tough. When that bell rings, fans are guaranteed a clash where every round feels like a championship fight, because neither man is willing to back down or play it safe. But here's what nobody else is talking about. Frank Warren highlighted Chisora's most dangerous quality, his incredible mental toughness forged through 13 career losses. Those defeats didn't break Del Boy. They made him harder to hurt, more difficult to discourage, and absolutely impossible to intimidate. Warren explained that Chisora's ability to absorb punishment and keep coming forward makes him a nightmare matchup for any puncher, including Wilder. It's one thing to hurt someone. It's another thing entirely to keep them down when they refuse to quit. Here's the reality check that Eddie Hearn delivered. Chisora enters this fight as the underdog, but in heavyweight boxing, rankings and odds mean nothing once the first punch is thrown. Hearn has promoted enough heavyweight fights to know that anything can happen when big men start throwing leather. Wilder's punching power is still terrifying and capable of ending any fight at any moment, but Chisora's grit and experience mean he won't be intimidated by reputation or highlight reels. Every round becomes a tug of war between knockout power and relentless pressure. Now listen to what Adam Smith revealed about the current state of both fighters. Wilder still carries that devastating one-punch power that made him a world champion, but his recent performances have raised legitimate questions about his stamina and ability to maintain intensity over 12 rounds. Smith pointed out that Chisora's consistency and relentless pressure make him the perfect opponent to test those concerns. This creates a fascinating dynamic where fans are witnessing a true 50-50 battle, where every round could completely shift the momentum of the entire fight. Here's where everything comes together. The heated press conference wasn't just entertainment. It was a preview of the raw emotion and competitive fire that both fighters will bring into the ring.